Okay, I'm doing a long overdue take two with the Honor Guard from Honor Defense. The small 9mm concealable, thin carry gun, very M&P shield-like, as I had pointed out before, but with some differences, and I'll explore those in a little bit better detail in this video. So let me get warmed up. Honor Guard comes with two magazines, one 7-round, one 8-round. This is the 8-round. It's feeling pretty good on warm-up. Let me load a couple more magazines and go some more. Another objective of the Take Two concept is to not only just have a little bit more fun with the gun, a little less talking and a lot more shooting, but also to take a quick look, when necessary, at a point or an aspect of a pistol or a gun that I didn't cover in the first 100. And with the Honor Guard, an important part of the pistol that I didn't really cover, at least in any depth, is the modular concept. And the reason I didn't go into any real depth about it initially was I didn't see where they were going with it. This pistol is, at the time that I bought this gun, it was available two ways. The one you see right here and the one with the Forrest Gump frame where the bottom lip stuck way out. And that was it. But they were both essentially the exact same platform, exact same size and all that. Since then, not too long ago, I was at a gun show and I happened to notice on somebody's table an Honor Guard pistol that had a much longer slide. Probably had like somewhere in the neighborhood of a 4-inch barrel. The frame looked to be very similar, but it might have been a little bit bigger, might have been a little bit deeper with a longer magazine. I'm not certain. But anyway, I want to show you how the chassis system works with the Honor Guard. Now we're used to seeing this with a Sig Sauer P320 and P250. One thing you may have noticed right there was you do not have to pull the trigger to disassemble the pistol. So once you've got it apart, the takedown lever pulls out, and you just got to rotate it until you find the direction that it wants to be in to come out. There we go. No, just a matter of perseverance. All right, so you wiggle that thing out, and then the way the chassis comes out is you lift it up and pull it slightly forward. Now I found the easiest way to do that was to get something under it, just like a small punch, and just pry it up that way, and then pull it forward. So I'm just pulling slightly forward so that we can clear in the back, because these little tabs lock up inside the polymer. And that is it. So there is the chassis system for the Honor Guard pistol. Again, similar, at least in concept, to the Sig Sauer's P320, but a little bit different in design. So this would allow you, and you can see, where am I? You can see that the serial number is actually engraved on this piece. So like the Sig Sauer, this is the actual firearm from an ATF perspective. These parts are not. So you could get replacement grip frames, theoretically in different sizes and colors and all that, and of course you could get different slides and assemblies or parts thereof. This is the only part that would require a Form 4473. This is the firearm. Now to put it back in, It's pretty easy to just reverse that. You take those two tabs that are sticking out the back, slide them into the corresponding slots. You do need to push the trigger back just a little bit to clear that spot. Get it in there. Take the takedown lever and finagle it, and you'll see a little blade. See it right there in the hole? And there's a flat side or a beveled side to this pin, so you want to line those up accordingly, and then just get it in there like so. Voila. So let's revisit maybe what I like and what I don't like. And I may change my mind, or at least alter my opinion a little bit on that. A lot of time has gone by since I first shot this and put the first 100 through it, and I haven't shot it since. So I put, I think, 150 rounds through it initially, and that's all it's had up until the 15 that I just put through it. So this is its second outing. I said before, and I will continue to say, that the grip surface on this polymer frame is the best, bar none, that I have ever felt. So huge plus there. Some of the things that I don't like, I'm not real crazy about. I know they went for a dehorned sort of slide and everything, but they dehorned the cocking serrations a little bit too much. And I probably mentioned that before, but if your hands are a little bit slippery or something, it's actually difficult to get a good enough grip to rack the slide off of those. So they should sharpen those up a little bit. I like the sights. The sight picture is great. The orange dot out front, which I think is just a painted orange dot on the front sight, is fantastic. Hopefully it's durable. There's a lot I like about this gun. The trigger I wasn't too crazy about. I'm going to try to get a different feel for it today maybe and find out if I like it better or if I still have the same complaints that I had before. Incidentally, shooting MagTech ammo. MagTech 115 grain ball, 9mm. Was on sale, I think, at Midway USA. Great price for a case of 1,000, so couldn't pass it up. Seems to be shooting pretty good. Not only does the ammo seem to be shooting good, the gun seems to be shooting good too. I will also reiterate that I did not have a single failure during the first 100. The gun runs. It does absolutely run. I had mentioned that the slide stop is not a slide release. It just doesn't work. All my hits on the steel target were actually pretty good, even at rapid pace, but let's give that steel target a break for a minute, put some on paper and see if I can get the accuracy to be any better today than it was that first 100. First 100 I found the gun shot high, even with a 6 o'clock hold, and my grouping was okay, but not necessarily wonderful. Let's see how it is today. This is the last 5 rounds of the MagTech, and then the last 2 rounds in this magazine are going to be Tula. So, hey, we bring out the very best when we do our accuracy tests. We're going to judge a gun based on the cheapest ammo you can buy. But no, that's not true. I do like to see, though, that a gun can shoot cheap ammo. So it's a bit of a challenge. I'm about 12 yards back. Same distance I was shooting the steel from. So that 1-inch square is a pretty small target at 12 yards. Okay, those last 2 rounds were steel cased Tula. First 5 were MagTech. These next 8 are all Tula. Again, nothing but the best for my audience. she's locked up pretty good. Okay, this is extreme coincidence, and maybe it's something I brought on myself, but I was just talking about this Handi-Racker yesterday with the guy at the range. He was asking me, hey, do you still have that thing you used to carry in your bag? Yep, I do. So going back probably 4 years now, the very first review I ever did for Guns America was this product, the Handi-Racker. And one of the things I demonstrated with a real malfunction during that review, and I'm going to do it again today, is how you can clear a jam. Now this slide is locked up pretty tight. You know, in the old days you would hold by the slide and beat as hard as you could here and, you know, take a good chance on bruising your hand up or doing something unsafe. But with the Handi-Racker, it does make it a lot easier. So I'm hoping it'll work today, clear this jam out of here, this cartridge that will not eject. So I always recommend the best way to do it is first of all, I am down right at the berm, right at the corner of the berm where this post is. This post provides a nice, firm, hard, immovable surface. So what I'm going to do is put the Handi-Racker on the slide and give it a good shove. There we go. Out she came. Piece of cake. It's all about leverage, ladies and gentlemen. All about tools and leverage. So as I start to wrap up the take two on the honor guard, I will say that the one thing that probably is starting to change a little bit is my feeling about the trigger. I still don't love it. It's still not my favorite trigger by, you know, it probably doesn't even make the list of my favorite triggers, but I don't hate it, and it's not bothering me near as much today as it did that first day. Of course, you know, today's a nice day. It's like 68 degrees. It's a perfect spring day, and it was middle of July last time, so I was probably sweating like a pig. That may make a difference too, because that'll make your skin grab more, but it's not bothering me right now like it did before. And everything else about this pistol functions really good. I don't like that you can't release the slide using the slide stop because I think that's an important option to have, whether you choose to do it that way or not. It's nice to have that tool in your box. Everything about the pistol other than that is pretty good, except for, again, the grip of the serrations on the slide could be improved, and I think should be improved. I know they make a bigger version now of this gun. I think it's just a longer slide, but it'd be interesting to shoot that one, see how different it feels. Especially if the grip is any bigger. I didn't notice, like I say, the one I saw at a gun show, I just looked at briefly, and that was the only one that they had. They didn't have this model on the table, so wasn't able to do a comparison. It'd be interesting to see. I will say that I do like this gun and the way it shoots. It shoots a little high. Oh, another one didn't go into battery. Didn't go all the way into battery, but I got it in battery now, and I think we've got a live one, which is what the salesman usually says when I walk in the door, especially at the gun store. I've totally lost count of where I am in the rounds. Now I know. I'm at 0. Okay, let's get through this round of Tula and then move on to some real ammo. Okay, the way the light is hitting that target, it's hard for me to see my hits. My hit's real clear, but looks like a okay size group, a little bit high. Again, I'm at 12 yards, so I'm not expecting all holes touching. Let's load up some good ammo, try some headshot. Hornady American Gunner, 115 grain XTP bullet. I haven't decided how I feel yet about this stuff. It's certainly good quality ammo, but it's not necessarily the most accurate thing. I don't know. We'll see how it does through the honor guard. Still 12 yards back. Are we on paper? I don't know, I think I see a notch in the top. This thing does shoot a little high, so the headshots are always iffy. I really don't want to adjust my hold to like the neckline because it's just not good business. I'm going to keep trying it though. Same point of aim. 8 more. Oh, I flinched on that one. Yeah, I dropped my sight a little bit so that I gave myself a little bit of a notch between the front sight post and the rear. That brought them down a little bit. Hopefully kept them on the paper anyway. So, you know, we ruined the perfect record of no malfunctions by having a couple with the Tula ammo. So apparently it doesn't really like steel cased ammo, because what was happening was there were a couple rounds that did not go all the way into battery, and so the slide wasn't fully in battery. The trigger was still dead. One of them I racked out and just ejected it, as you saw. The other one I just kind of forced it into battery after I figured out that's probably what was going on. So 2 malfunctions with Tula ammo. I am not going to hold the gun at fault there, because who knows what the specs are on that ammo. And also steel doesn't have the lubricity of brass, so you know it's a little harder to feed than brass is. Some guns just don't like it. This gun apparently doesn't. And let's be honest, if you're carrying Tula ammo in a self-defense gun as your self-defense round, I don't think you made a wise choice. So there's that. So I've put at least 100 rounds through this thing today. I didn't really keep accurate count, but it's been at least 100. And so that brings me up over 200. I'm probably approaching 250. Damn. That is certainly not any kind of an exhaustive test by any means, but considering that the only slight malfunctions this gun has had has been with the steel-cased Tula ammo, everything else has fed, fired, and performed just fine. The accuracy is acceptable, and you know, I can't say that that this wouldn't make a good carry gun. I think it would. Because if I'm spending, you know, 450 bucks on a single stack 9, I'm looking at Glock, I'm looking at Walther, I'm looking at obviously Smith & Wesson, Ruger. So Honor Defense certainly hasn't shied away from the competition or a challenge in that respect. But otherwise, I think this pistol is certainly a viable candidate. And like I said, some of the things it has going for it are absolutely fantastic. I'd like to see where they take the concept of the removable chassis. I think there's an opportunity there for them to maybe put a little distance between them and their immediate competition. So I'd like to see what they do with that. So that's it. There's your take 2 look at the Honor Guard from Honor Defense, a slim 9mm pocket-sized carry option that I think is is a good option.